There are two things you must understand about knowledge. There's a difference between having the knowledge of a thing and knowing a thing. You are informed about it. It's committed to your knowledge. But that doesn't mean you know it. The first and the lowest level of knowledge is the reception of information. What we call in Christianity inspiration is a low level, because what you are inspired to say doesn't belong to you. Something else put that thing into your mouth, into your thought, into your mind. Inspiration is reception. Inspiration doesn't mean the one who is inspired generate. No, he's influenced into altering something given to him. He's brought into a consciousness that surpasses the intellectual part of the human mind. That consciousness surpasses the intellect, and it goes to that level. And in that level, he's able to alter things that in his intellect, although he thinks he's wise, he may not be able to process. And if he processes, he will reject it. He will reject knowledge. So you see a level where people have the knowledge of, they're informed about it, but they do not know. And trust me, knowledge is not experience. Knowledge is not experience, because even experience too gives you information. You experience fire. You know that fire burns because what? You experience it. What did you receive from that experience? And information about this entity called fire. That doesn't mean you know fire, but you've received a particular information that guides your operation around this thing called fire. But you see, the true knowledge or the higher knowledge is the one that goes beyond the imputing of information to a level where you begin to apply the knowledge. You become the manifestation of knowledge. When informations are given to you, but those informations are not manifested, you although being a custodian of a particular information is not different from a fool. If an information is given to you and you have the knowledge of a thing, but with the knowledge you have, there is no manifestation, there is no commensurate manifestation, you are not different from the fool who doesn't know. I tell you the truth. If you say you know how to drive and you cannot drive a car, you have the information of driving, and yet a car is handed over to you and you cannot drive it. How are you different from a man who cannot drive a car, and yet he doesn't even know how to drive a car? You're not different from a man who has never even seen a car before. You have the knowledge. You've seen people drive cars. You've been in cars that were driven. But yet, you are not different from a man who has never seen a car in his life, who has seen a car but he doesn't know how to drive. You have the knowledge of, but you do not know. So the first layer of knowledge is an invitation. It brings you into the place where you now know. And you do not know in the context of this discussion until you can manifest, because true knowledge makes you. A knowledge that doesn't make you waste you. A knowledge that doesn't make you what? Waste you. So if you know, you will manifest what you know. And in the manifestation, you've stepped or ascended beyond information into this thing called wisdom. Wisdom is also knowledge. It's a form of knowledge, but it's a higher form that goes beyond the knowledge that is information to the knowledge that is manifestation. That's the level of wisdom. So knowledge is given to you, you're informed and the rest, but that doesn't mean you have the wisdom of the knowledge, because it's in wisdom we know you know. So when I drive a car, I'm not driving from knowledge, I'm driving from the wisdom of driving, the wisdom of the knowledge. The wisdom has become my knowledge. And for another person, information remains his knowledge. We can share the same car together, but I would be higher than him, because where his information stops, my wisdom begins. That is what it means to do know. You actually do know. You are not just informed about the thing, you can manifest. There's a difference between saying, I know Spanish and I can speak Spanish. If you speak Spanish, you don't need to tell anyone, I know Spanish. From what you are saying, people will know you know Spanish. That's where knowledge begins to announce itself, without the person who is knowledgeable announcing knowledge. When you always find yourself announcing a knowledge, check, you may not know it. I am this, I am this. You are saying that because you do not even know who you are. Sadly, many Christians are victims of this. I'm a son of God. I know who I am. I'm the power of God. I'm the light of the world. The person doesn't know who he is. If you know, knowledge will announce itself. Wisdom is not quiet. The Bible says wisdom cries at the street. Israel marveled at the wisdom of Solomon. Solomon never sat there and said, I'm the wisest man in all the earth. I'm the most wisest. No. He manifested that brilliance that is known as true knowledge that was within him. That knowing that was beyond the intellectual, and that knowing was called wisdom.